Hello. In a land where social rights are upheld, I am not surprised that we think that persons with disability have had their rights trampled upon or they've been marginalized for far too long in our quest to attain a clean and healthy environment. As human as they are, these people have a role to play in our society as far as sanitation crisis is concerned. Have you ever seen a person with disability trying to probably cross a street that has a gutter in front of it, and imagine if the gutter has rubbish heaped in front of it? How are they really going to, go about their lives in societies like that? How about our toilet facilities? How do persons with disability assess this? Are their friends, or those who call themselves friends of the disabled, are they really friendly people? This is what we are looking at on Clean Communities today. Clean Communities is an association with Star Ghana, and I am Sarah Mabla D'Souza. This week we are looking at two issues. We'll look at the women of Kojo Kurom and what they go through to dispose of waste.
Residents of Kojo Kurom and the Shama Ahanta East Municipal Assembly of the Western Region have expressed shock and disappointment at the Municipal Assembly's inability to cart rubbish that is generated in the Municipal Assembly each week. They say they pay between 30 pesos and 1 Ghana cedi, prices which are ridiculous and exorbitant. They therefore have no choice than to throw them away into the gutters and the streets.
Blah. Bole, and one a beguha. What plaque was I do 50 pesos? In team, my mashima, dear. Amende. Machine is an pam qualani, and no more go inside. Na me a machine, me we are not my because 50 pesos in the ball and she free here. I will put a crabble and you say, Omuji is cat. You should be a Omuji 50 pesos. See, when me fees a me pra a good and a mishima, dear, fine, so we know robbers.
But also the area, but one can say, we any bigger ball we fear this animal. How do you handle your ball and
oh, my ball, dear. Well, I checked 3 days behind me too. Because women stand to see me, be our. A bianin, I'm a young one, I say, fear, prapran, the 3 days behind my betrayal.
One can say, our banner, so this month.
Oh, me the smammy about small girl.
Now, the way ball a hammer there.
Papa! Hey! Papa and Tontom, yam and Ponta by 6 o'clock to 7 going, Tontom and Tontom, a black guy. I'm a true cocoa.
The office say, oh, my farm.
Ball and the money be found, because a hard dream. By 1 month, remember me, boom, yale. Yet, na a chow high and Pontam, hinty. And Tontom and Mamma Maria and tea, when you be found with a cry. One can't check my men or the ball and Nimpen in form. No, when you be found on a ball and the
Keda ball no am be ba. On say fie so be me na. Yale ban kwatin na so yale ba ba. The boy sent ba from ambode nsuta. Intimate na. Ti me kan dey pon chwala o me fa na yeso ye won toyin.
Ball na ye no. First na ball kalam ba hade. Nti ya ball wo da kokrom ho no. Container ni bisi wo. Nti ho na ye de ye ball no ko. Na say na ball kalaba. Na ye kotu. Nti ball na wajem. E kotu gba na ye 30 pesos. Na wo be na wasisi a wo fuel no wa atutu. Nti wo beje 50 pesos. Na say the ball no so kwa. Ball no do na wo hwe na wo da charge. Nti go a oje no 1 cedi. Go a 50 pesos. Nti dame skana awoje wan nti ama amanfo pi won ko bola amide mo bola me ya me disi anti me baba na me da asoma me de 50 pesos aka no na we ko trade na ona me da menti bola na no boya de nti wo ba na we tu bola na we de egu gaten mo twa na yapo na yakofia na we bo tu bola na we de egu gaten na wo ko ha ohia no so sisi a wo complain de kwala la aba o di fish na odeba na de bia ya baba na bola wo de egu gaten mu na ha ohia but o me mpeda wo ya inde sisi a se watchman da hade ya ana obi aluntum bo tu bola no ntungum e sunday tuguma wo becho
ye no gota no ewura ne hyan dododo amanfo de wura ogum papa waton na yakofia na wodubugum sunya ne yeti gota yi wihida yakobola yitua kaw sisi a so ame ma adwen kire me de bola na wohwe no dodo ansa na wa charge na wa ma gota ne mu ye fidam nti wan so wonhwe na won bo ohyan na bola no wonsusu na wonje hu ska sisi bola no wohwe wa charge o ekwa mo asada wadaje no 1 cedi wo ho 50 pesos wo ho 30 pesos wo ho 30 pesos no you low otum komo nanim more than that nti won so wonhwe no won kan bibi menyen afri so ye ne bro no ha so yenyi watchman no me ye sure da no so kan na ohwe ha na biala mbe ya no de no ni bolo no de ekogum nti won me watchman so ha won bo hen no minim de secondary no otua patakaw abane mo hon watchman aha so itua patakaw ye twa ticket ya ha yenyi watchman wa ha so wo so ndoso ye bro ne hankasa mpo de yenyi watchman nti no so no ho boy no so ye hia
ewura no me de go kotokuo me wi ana maso akwa bola na makohwiegu me kotua ka wo bola oh de bi me dugo asane ye nwura be ye fi nti me sa na me de gu adiem na me de kwa akotua ka egu sa be ya de nti ye mpensa nti ya prewia ya sese gu adiem ne ye de ko bola me ka cho mo sa ya de kura enye de bia ye kan so wo monte ya de ya be hina fi na ma ya de no abansa efie no samesese gumu a politin na machichere na mde ahyoboto no na akola na de ko na wokohwiegu na watua ka
in fact ye wogum ha ye twa ticket ni nyina echi na ewi a yankasa ya pra ye kotua mbo legu ka ne besi a wasas wo gien 50 pesos ye de kwa wase nda ya kwa wase 1 cedi na ne de sabi infa so ba ne yenye wo egoye ya timi mu ya pra wa gien ticket ya kotua mbo legu mtimpada mi hu fa so kura sabi yenya wa ha obi so yankasa ya pata na ya abo no so no waje yen hu sika timpada mi hu fa so kra sabi yenya fisama no hu.
This resident does a comparison between Ghana's waste collection strategy and that of the Ivory Coast.
The boy begua me kuma no ay bola yefi o fi na ma so bola no betu ntimi no mara da ya pride you go to bola egu baby a no anya one day but the car no go for bola no ko tu egu tie ba ase na me braka chem se moto bola ngo ade mo wajiska waje 5000 se sam di bola ya me ko go ma me se 1 cedi a bola su pi gufie mi kala mi bola ni nyina be badia chede mo ebo wo bono za ko ho ti am bua mi
ngo sha na che se e ka mo ti a mo di bola egu awon ni body wo
ni body
nje na officer no ka se e fa
boke baby I meet you have because when je bola skin so e mu hu de mba ade no ka chem de a wajiska
bola ni ko sa na e ma
okay onye fe
ya na che se mpenyi fo ya fa
mpenfo be ya afa mu ndanka won fa card se mo we no have because o fa card se kan be jan so pere wo tu ampa anu de investor of boa amanti. So what my for car was so well and munko bonus so there wash your munkakra. So 5,000 pound beja will be mud baby 5,000 on the bejato. Nam de Eddie Babana Cade Obian and Ubu and don't find cry and good. But I request the Abano Chiaka. Normally about to the bola go up one do betching Sunday or the cars bar being Bibiana was so bolle since so bar Missy in the over feed them no only bola goofia and over to Sunday Abanacasa di Calaba the was so bola. So watch it out and if you are a findy or what you my boots.
The Queen Mother of the market women is also backing her sellers and blaming Saima for the refuse disposal woes.
Yeah, well, bottle, Mimi the Enison. Into a baller, no near deep. Into Anopa. Near the cobola, ya baller, wa hands of baller, no, you be you quite and fan baby. No, be on to be cobola, and our children quality. Now, what I can see another one, no, they are too. And so, ya what market here, Sama G and Skady, and call or say, yes, Sabola, Yam Praha, Simon Praha, Yani a prayer, ya G and tickets, ye chia, pata, ka, Bosumi Bia, ye ticket is Wakamu, ya bola, no Yani, yes, so I could, and I would the bola one city. One more bola, so a market because it's here one city. Na me na me ho akire mo market na na ye twa ticket na na ye twa pateska na ye wiya ye de ye bola akọ na nse kura na bola ka begina ha wa mo je 30 pesos kura ye twa na ye de eguma no pa bia oba wa mo se company de ka nti bola no Simon twa bibia ma wo mo ejai ba enso wa mo ba 30 pesos ye twa ye de gum obi ade ne bola gum. And so, yes, company need the car. Just a de Wamaka, into a car and Macra. What's a bola or market? A bola, baby, a bola, a you are. What we could take it to 50 pesos. Bola Cassia, one city. And a man, a Hana, Womuhami. Simon can be very quiet, Baba, or Kaya we 190 Africa, what can we own 29 grand fancy? And to what got another Yetiana, but to bola. Politan, one watch a train, sir. Now, went to thank us for say, one must summer market. Now, one must say, ne, one more is a market, a woman, one more got an itchy. One am so one about woman, the Cocotta, me, I made a woman. Says a moon, a wire man for no other big kills. Yeah, all the baller which is I was in my summer. Now, where be you baller? Anka Bola and one would be baller camera. Now, so I wait a ticket. Now, see a mess of my woman. Market, yes, a man. Now, was a man market. I don't work a summer. Your market now, over summer. I'm a person more catcher, woman say. So, one would you ticket to a double sumi to in our Kaya one. And the woman Maka. Simon, one woman every morning, they are coming.
So, in all of this, what is the assembly member for the area doing to better the situation?
A croy kakeke, and to me, what be a day ye problem or could Zebo to my ya, or Bob, able to my ya. Men say no, it to me a wage, Mamma ye. See, a contract and a contract on the bar on the market, no prenos bogma. One man share. But Musso, oh yeah. Oh yes, so much woman, Kofuba Papra, board on some after there. When you put out one more Papra, once an arm what to me, or prime market, I was looking at a corner for my lift as a
Should residents blame city authorities all the time? What can we collectively do to remedy the situation? Well, Clean Communities will keep you posted on this worrying trend.
Let's now go to Gumani now and look at the physically challenged and what they go through as well.
First of all, I would like to know from your own perspective the sanitation situation in Gumani community. Is it good or is it bad?
Yeah, actually, it's good. It's not good. It's not good because the way we dispose our waste is not. It's not good for the environment, as well as we, the physically challenged people. We sometimes find it difficult in our movement, and we also find it difficult to some kind of the diseases that might confront us because of the because of the waste disposal, the bad way of disposal of the waste. Yeah.
So you are telling us that you do find difficult improving after waste being disposed. So in your own effort, what have you done in the society to see to it that waste is properly done?
If I see somebody disposing waste in unprescribed way, I will try to talk to him or her that the way that you're disposing the waste is not the best. This should have been the way to dispose the waste. So if the person agree with me, then he will do the right thing. That's my contribution.
All right. So now, away from the situation of the community, let's come to your own personal way of making sure that sanitation is taken care of as a fiscal challenge person. My first question goes this way: do you have access to toilet in your house?
Actually, I don't have toilet in my house.
So,
I don't have toilet.
All right. So, do you use a public toilet, or how do you free yourself?
I've been in my territory. There's not a public toilet for us. We are doing a free range. We are going for range.
So, I hope you know the harm open defecation cause to the society.
Yeah, actually, I know the effect of open defecation. But we have no idea. We have no choice but to do open defecation, because in our territory there's no public toilet for us to get in there and ease ourselves. So the only choice is that we have to get into the nearby forest and ease ourselves to regular.
So you mean you get to the forest to free yourself?
Yeah.
So can you tell us what appeal are you making in order to see to it that our toilets are built to take care of your situation? And how should that be done? But should that be done in a normal way, just like the honored persons are due of
my appeal is that if the government could build us toilets and then make it accessible to disabled, that would be the best way for us to free ourselves as human beings instead of the free range. Then about building the toilets too, the government needs to put it at a place that which is be very, very accessible to get to the toilet side and then ease ourselves very well, properly. Yeah.
So now let's talk of dumping of refuse. But before we go to dumping of refuse, have you tried using the public toilet? Maybe actually, not in Gumani or in any other community?
Actually, I've never tried using the public toilet. I've never tried using it.
Yeah. So now let's get to go back to my main question about waste disposal. How do you dispose your waste?
Actually, for me, I'm living in a standard family house. Okay. So any waste that I have, we had a dustbin. You can put it in the dustbin, and they will dispose it for you. Yeah.
So do you normally try to ask how the waste is disposed for you?
The waste too is being disposed through the forest. Yeah, in our territory, we don't have the dustbin, the big dustbin, and that all the community can gather their waste and then they'll dispose it properly. Yeah, so we are dumping our waste in the forest, and then that if we get there, it's too bad. It's too bad, especially when it rains. It's too bad.
So do you think that the dumping refuge in the forest is the best alternative? Do you think that's the best alternative?
Actually, it's not the best. It's not the best. Every good human being can notice that it's not the best, because when it rains heavily, all the rubbish and then all the things we throw into the forest have to come back. All comes back to the environment, especially our water bodies that near us. Okay. And we intend drinking it again. That wouldn't help our health status.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. So now again, what do you ask of the assembly to do in terms of this refuge dumping in the forest?
Okay, my opinion is that if the government or the assembly can do anything, is that they should segregate all the waste. There are waste that can be burned. That can be burned totally, and there are waste that we can bury or dump. So if that is done, those waste that can be burned should be burned, and those waste that can be buried or dumped should be do so. But it seems that in our community or in Ghana here, I realize that all waste are being dumped. Okay. which is not the right way of disposing waste.
Afa Abukare, Zakaria, it's nice talking to you.
Thank you, sir. I do appreciate
Joy TV Clean Communities.
Okay, thank you.
And I strongly believe and hope that you will also educate your colleagues to see to that sanitation is taken care of in this community.
Okay, thank you. I do appreciate it. Yeah.
It's also a physically challenged person who lives within the Gumani community. We would be interacting with him too to find out how he is living with the bad sanitation situation in Gumani. Some of the challenges that he thinks he faces as far as the sanitation situation is concerned. I'm sure you are well aware of some of the things that happen as far as sanitation is concerned in this particular community. We talk about open defecation. A lot of people have talked about it. We also know about how people dump waste in this area indiscriminately. We talk about the inadequate toilet facilities in this area. We want to look at all these things, and as a physically challenged person, how you are taking it. What are some of the effects of the bad sanitation situation in the area? We will also look at some of the challenges that we face as a physically challenged person in trying to keep the environment clean, or in trying to contribute to your culture towards keeping the environment clean. So first of all, tell us, what are some of the effects that you think as far as the sanitation situation is concerned in this community?
First of all, the sanitation of the waste is, we don't have a lot of big dustbins in these areas. First, most of the people always go to the forest to dump them, which is not good. And a lot of disease, it causes a lot of diseases and sickness. And to me, I'm a disabled, and a bin is taller than me. Even to get closer to it to dump waste in it is difficult. And those I've been telling to throw the waste in the bin, they always used to say it's disturbance to them. And most to the point, the surrounding or the friends I live with, most of them always throw the waste around. But if you are going to tell them, they usually ask you, is this your house or is this your place? You have nothing to say. So I'm pleading with others. Tell those who are doing that. If only you can tell them to listen, and they will listen to you, then they should please understand, so that we all will be in our good health.
Okay, so you just said that as a physically challenged person, the little things that we have around are very high, and it's always very difficult for you to climb up and throw the rubbish inside. So what do you always do with the waste? What do you always do with the rubbish?
Yeah, mostly sometimes it's my junior brothers and sisters that I used to send it. And but as I just said it, sometimes they say it's disturbance to them. So they should please get us the dustbin which is down for us, to also get closer to it. Because if it is down, I'm sure I can go and throw my waste inside. But if it is too tall, I can't climb and throw the waste in it.
Right. In keeping the environment clean, we know that it is the responsibility of all, as an individual, as government, as opinion leaders in the community. So first of all, let's look at you as an individual. What contributions are you making towards keeping the environment clean? What are some of the things that you do so that you would ensure that the community is kept clean?
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Like, it's not even throwing the rubbish, the waste in the dustbin or the surroundings. Most people, because of we don't have the dustbin surrounding us, most people always dump their waste in the forest, which is not good. So I'm pleading with those people to please stop those things, and also the leaders of the areas. We have DC assemblymen. They are those people who have to provide those things, and all throwing the waste around will stop.
Now you have a fair idea of the situation on the ground, and to help us do justice to this matter today is Lord Ado, the Executive Director of Alliance for Development, who has always been a believer, or who always believes that there is a solution to all these challenges we are having as far as sanitation is concerned, and also as far as persons with disability are concerned in our sanitation challenges. Lord, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How long have you been in this business?
Well, let's say for the past 2 years, 3 years now, yeah.
And you've had sanitation at heart?
Yeah, you know, the whole issue is about the environment, and the environment is what sustains us. I mean, if the environment in which we live cannot sustain us, then I think all of us we don't have a future. So yes, I mean, sanitation being a critical component of the environment, yes, I have sanitation and the environment at heart.
Generally, how do you think we treat persons with disability when it comes to sanitation issues in Ghana?
Well, I think it's if you look at it carefully, it's the same way we treat them in other aspects, you know, of our lives or in the society. The law that enables the disabled to have access to buildings and to other facilities in a more friendlier way has been passed. You know, the LI has been passed, but up to now, nothing is being done. You go to many public places, and access for disabled is a problem. You know, there is this, I think, one of the ministries, there is a high top official who is disabled there, and you look at the way the man goes up and down in accessing the building. It's challenging for him, and it's disheartening if you sit back to watch it. So in respect to the sanitation crisis, in respect to the environment, we've treated them in the same way that we've treated them in respect to other aspects of our social lives.
Lord, you see, I believe that if you have a right, it also means you have a responsibility.
Definitely.
And over the years, we've always made it look like it is society that is against persons with disability. We feel that, yes, society in general is trampling upon their rights. Don't they have roles to play as well? Don't they have a role to play as far as sanitation and other issues are concerned?
Yeah, they have a role to play. But you see, most of these issues goes with your empowerment, if I may put it that way. You know, the extent to which you are empowered to play that role. You get it? Because the disabled are part of the socially excluded, you know. Okay. So although yes, I believe they also understand and they also accept the fact that they have rights and responsibilities and they have roles that they must play. But they've been excluded from many facets of society, many aspects of our social life. They've been excluded. When you come to the key issue of economic empowerment, they are one of the most disadvantaged. You get it? There are no jobs for them. There are no job openings for them, even with regards to their education. You know, it's a challenge. You go to our campuses and you see them trying to maneuver their way through campus. I mean, it's a challenge. So you look at it holistically, you realize that they have rights, they have responsibilities, they have roles, but they've not been empowered, you know, for them to be able to take up those roles and responsibilities. But I think if you look at the little that they are doing or the little that they've done, I mean, they have shown that yes, given the necessary push, given the necessary resources, they are very able to play a good role, you know, a positive role in our developmental quest, and more so respect to the sanitation environmental crisis we are going through. I'm sure we can society as a whole can enroll them, employ them strategically, whereby they can make a good impact. Because if the fully bodied persons are not responding as we should, I mean, if some of these people come in and they come to speak, they come to take action, and we see them, I think your conscience will prick you for you to also do, you know, follow suit. You get it? So yes, I'm very sure they've done a lot, and when given the necessary push, I think they can do more.
Have you had the chance of handling the situation of toilet facilities and persons with disability?
It's a very big issue. You talk to most of them and they don't have the necessary, the toilet facilities is not friendly for them. It's not user friendly for them. You know, I know of a personal story of one guy, a student at Legon, disabled, and he always had to use the he always had to do open defecation because the toilet facilities are not friendly. If you look at the stairs, You get it? So I know for some of the halls, what they employ is that they put them on the ground floor so that they can, you know, have easy access to the halls. But you go to the toilet facilities and it is the same. Some of them are so, the doorway are so narrow, and you wonder how can they enter? You know, so all these things. So yes, for that guy in particular, so open defecation, that's what he practices, and he's one of the most important universities in Ghana. So you can just imagine.
What will you say if I say that, well, such structures have been put in place already, and with the campaign we are embarking on for persons with disability, it will be difficult to kind of push too much because they'll tell you there is no money. There's no money to change the structures that have already been built. I mean, we always use money as an excuse. Don't you think it's a legitimate excuse?
Yes, it's as to its legitimacy is another issue, but I think something can be done. Something can always be done, you know, be it construction of additional facilities, be it renovation of current facilities. You know, something can be done. Something can be done, and I think this is whereby entrepreneurs should take advantage of some of this situation, so that they come up with new ideas, with creative ideas that can solve some of these societal problems. It shouldn't always be about business as usual, if I may put it that way, or the profit motive. But then they should also look at the social impact of some of their business ideas and creativity. If they can do that, I think it will go a long way to help society in general. Something can be done. I mean, changing a toilet facility should not cost so much, you know, and most of these things, internally generated funds can do it. I mean, we shouldn't wait for government subvention, government support and all that. I mean, a little here, a little there from the IGFs, from most of our institutions can go a long way to resolve some of these issues. It shouldn't cost too much. It shouldn't cost too much. Looking at the fact that this is about human lives, this is about, you know, persons who are disadvantaged through no fault of theirs. You get it? So something should be done, and it's well possible.
We have associations that deal with persons with disability, or better put, persons with disability have their own associations. Have we ever heard them probably trying to fight for or speak up for themselves as far as sanitation is concerned?
Yeah, maybe sanitation, but
because I feel the focus the persons with disability, our focus have always been, okay, so how we are not able to access buildings. I feel that priorities are not being set right. Because if there's an association that deals with persons or deals for persons with disability and we want to speak for them, why do we always concentrate? Over the years, it has always been, and the ministries is not accessible. School education, I think it is very important. So that point, they have that right. But some of the things I feel that are not too much of a priority. They leave out the cleanliness aspect of it. They make it look as if the person with disability really has nothing to do with sanitation.
Well, I think most of the advocacy has been in general. Okay, I think it's not that they have looked down upon it or it's an oversight. I think they have tended to make their advocacy for their social inclusion, you know, and empowerment in general. You know, so yes, maybe I think it's about time that they throw more light on specific areas so that maybe the necessary push, the necessary support can be given to them. Because I mean, Star Ghana is supporting this program, and if, for example, the persons with disability come up with anything that has to do with the environment or clean communities for that matter, I'm sure they can get that push. So yes, they have been doing the advocacy, they have been speaking on the issues that confront them, that they face on a daily basis, but they've been doing it in general terms. So yes, to an extent you are right, but knowing and believing that they have a role, they have some responsibilities, I think it is about time that they do issue specific advocacy so that it will go a long way to help they themselves. But I mean, I believe you know about the Association for the Disabled, and that means one thing, that the association has been very effective in its work. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about them. So yes, maybe they may have not.
I disagree with you on that point, Lord. I don't think the association is doing enough. I don't think that it is all about. I don't think running an association is all about give me or give us. I think that running an association also has to do with what can we do. And over the years, it has always been the give me. And I think that for us to really achieve what we want for the society of persons with disability, we need to work at mind change. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's true. And I think, but if you look at it generally, even as a country, that is most of us, even the citizens, the full able-bodied citizens, that is the way we think. What can government give us? What can government give us? Look at this, through this project that you're doing, I think you've gone through a lot of communities, you visited a lot of communities, and for most of them, oh, government should come and do this. The DC, the district, the assembly should come and do this. I mean, I think you bear with me. But generally as a people, that is the way our thinking is. We tend to forget that as people, as citizens, we also have specific roles that we must play, and that if we don't do it, I mean, government alone, and indeed, who is the government? It's including us.
Yeah.
But that is the way we think. So yes, to that extent, you are right. So that maybe their advocacy has been general in the first place, and it has tended to focus more on give us this, give us that. But yes, if they also realize that they can play a major role in some of these issues by proposing actions and possible solutions to some of these things, I think it will also give them a new branding, if I may put it that way, just as you said. But at least, I mean, we must give them the credit that they've come this far, and maybe these are some of the shortfalls that they may have, and then these are additions or these are corrections that they must do going forward. So yes, I think it's a good thing that you've noticed.
Let's touch quickly on the issue of Kojo Krom waste disposal women. What is the best way we can get rid of the filth? I don't know, because we start drives, we start campaigns and everything, and at the end of the day we collect all the rubbish good, and then we pack them all to a particular place that is close to a settlement or a particular place that is fast developing, and we leave the people to develop while we keep the heap of rubbish by their side. Is that the best thing we can do? Is that all
Well, Abula, I think once again from this project, I think you realize that that is not the best, and I think one of the main challenges has been that for all the refuse and sanitation projects and campaigns that we do, it is more or less like a top-down approach, like an imposition on the people, on the society.
Exactly.
But I think the citizen must be the center. It must revolve around the individual. From there, then you come to the family. From the family, then you come to the household. You get it? If you go to some other countries, what they do is that they have facilities. I mean, facilities whereby you go and dump it there. You have to take it. You have to take your rubbish there. You know, take it, get to the place, already sorted out. And then when you go, then they will put it in the rightful places, and then they will get it. They'll get rid of it. So I think there's more room for improvement. There's more room for improvement. In respect to women in particular, you see, women, you know, in our society, they are the center. They are the fulcrum. Everything revolves around the woman. You know, especially in the household. And you go through some communities. It takes them so much time, so much resources for them to get water and firewood, and now disposing of refuse also becomes a problem, becomes a challenge. And the issue here is that if the refuse is not disposed of properly, I mean, the consequences, the health consequences comes back to the society, comes to the family, and once again the woman is the one who suffers most.
Yeah.
You get it? So, I mean, I think, as I said earlier, we must make the individual, the citizen, the fulcrum around which all these things revolve. We must let them understand. We must let the citizens understand that we have a major role to play. Look, the other time I was passing through Agbogbloshie, and here's a case whereby Ama has gone to contract some workers, and they were taking filth out of the gutter. We went a bit forward, and here is a seller putting back pure water sachet into the dustbin, into the gutter. I was so heartbroken. So I'm saying that if you don't even understand, or you don't even get what's your right, you don't even know your right, can't you see what the people are doing? At least it should have told you something that, look, what you are doing is not good. But because we've made it like, okay, Ama has brought in people, so they don't care. It is the right of the... Can you believe somebody will say that if I don't put rubbish, if I don't...
Where will they get work to do?
You get it? But here's the case where all the revenues that we are getting, it is now being channeled into refuse collection instead of important projects that will help the nation.
And the refuse collection is also being done in the wrong way, because we are picking it from the order from above approach. Instead of letting the people understand that this is your environment, this is where you live. If you don't keep it well, this is what will happen to you. We're making it look like, okay, just throw it there. When we have a pile or a big, you know, dump there, we'll look for caterpillars and tractors to come and clear it off. That is what we are telling people.
And that's the more reason why. I mean, Ama has this Coma project and this Gamma project coming up, and I don't know to the extent to which they are involving the listen. Why can't we just put different bins for different rubbish in our centers, in our market centers, for example, the lorry stations. Now the lorry stations have become lorry stations, selling joints, sleeping places. Why don't we put dustbins for different rubbish across? Why don't we educate the people? Why don't we engage the GPR leaders, the market leaders? We engage them and all these things, and they can do.
Lord, I think that even if they put bins there for different kinds of garbage, people will still disobey. The reason being, in our homes, we have people who separating the rubbish. Okay, people put the sachet water because they know they're going to sell the rubbish, so they separate it. Why can't we do it for everything?
Yeah. You see, as you say, the thing is a process. Okay, if we should start such a project today, we are not going to get the resource one time, maybe not even in a year, not even in 2 years, but I mean with time you realize that everybody changes, everybody will come on board.
So the issue about people throwing the rubbish back in there after it has been collected is one of our major things that we need to handle, right?
Yeah, it is a process. So it may take some time. It may take some time. We are not going to get the results within 1 year, 2 years, but I'm sure with time, as we educate them, as we educate the citizens, starting with children, through everybody, you know, the disabled, the women who play a major role in our society, yes, it will go a long way. And yeah, maybe 5 years, 6 years, who knows? I mean, Ghana will become a better place for all of us. Yeah.
So, Lord, what will be your final words for this segment or today?
Well, I think first of all, for people with disability, I think a closer look must be looked at their issue again, how we can address all their issues, you know, respect to their challenges, and more so respect to the environment. I mean, every person has a role to play for our communities to become cleaner than we see now. And for persons with disability, I think they have a major role to play, if I may put it that way. They may be small in number, but if you look at their total percentage out of the population, it makes quite a chunk, and they are also part of our society. So a closer look at their issues should be look at it again. I mean, can't we have dustbins that are friendly for them? They can use it.
We shouldn't hang it that high. Yeah, you're right.
All these things are possible, and I think our engineers, social entrepreneurs, governments, all stakeholders must come on board to look at the issue again to ensure that yes, they are included in society and regards to Ghana achieving a cleaner environment. And for women, yes, I mean they are mothers in society, and I think what we can do for them is, I mean, just what can we do to reduce their stress, because they go through too many stress with respect to whatever they have to do, firewood, water, and all that. So, and they make most of the refuse in their house. I mean, for some people have even suggested burning. I mean, we emit low amounts of carbon. Is it possible we can integrate it? What about burying? All these things can be done very cheaply without any much resources. So yes, a holistic approach should be looked at waste disposal in Ghana, and I'm very sure sooner than later we'll achieve clean communities.
Okay, Lord. Thank you very much. We hope you will join us again, say for the third time, right? This is the second.
Yeah, this is the second.
We hope to see you again.
Anytime.
My takeout for today's show is that we should make the people the central focus of our campaign, as far as we want, if we want to achieve good sanitation and good health. Clean Communities is an association with Star Ghana. I'm Sarah Mabla D'Souza, and until next time, stay well.